If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com. The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And we are beginning by thanking you, the listeners to the program. Management has just told me, and if you go to any of my social media platforms, you will see this. There's a little article, but management has informed me that from just a couple of Facebook posts, because of you wonderful people that listen to this program, just a few of them, it has 2 million hits. It's on my social media platforms right now, and on my Instagram, because of you folks, the kindness of you folks, wherever you're listening to this program from, my Instagram, a post that we did on the city's first lady, 12 hours ago, and it already has 500,000 hits. So you folks have this show on fire, and we thank you for that from the bottom of our hearts. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. He, Mamdani, just won't say the words Islamic terrorists. He won't do it. Given the opportunity to do so in just the last 24 hours, and Mamdani won't do it. And now perhaps it's time for the other shoe to drop. As a result of all of this that's going on, Republican gubernatorial candidate here in the state of New York, Bruce Blakeman, is demanding that Governor Kathy Hochul launch a state probe of the city's first lady over her anti-Semitic rhetoric in terms of liking those social media posts. He's also calling for a public apology from guess who? Mamdani, for his wife in terms of promoting hate. Blakeman says, and I am quoting, the Mamdani family has sent a chilling message to Jewish New Yorkers. The savage violence of October 7th, rapes, violence, and the brutal murder of babies was merely a punchline for online laughs and likes. Blakeman, of course, the current Nassau County executive, he said that in a statement. So I focused on this on the program, the midnight program this morning, and this is going to sound very simplistic, but I am telling you, as someone that did this for a living, and was considered the very best, not my words, what the New York Times said about me. I want you to listen to this reporter, and I think she's from the Times. She gave, in terms of a layup, Mamdani the opportunity to denounce Islamic terrorists. And she set this up in such a nice way. And guess what? You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make that horse drink.
So given that both of the alleged attackers at Gracie said they were inspired by ISIS, and given New York City's sort of perennial status as a soft target, I was wondering if you had any, words of advice to any young people who might find themselves being drawn to that particular ideology.
I think first and foremost, just to make it clear to everyone that extremism and hatred of any kind will not be tolerated in our city. And that is regardless of whatever ideology motivates any person to commit an act of violence. There is no tolerance for it here. What we want to deliver to New Yorkers is a city that is safe, is a city that believes in the values where everyone who calls it home is considered to be a part of it. There is no tolerance for any kind of violence within that vision of our city or the way in which we lead this city.
Thanks.
So the question was masterful. I know it doesn't seem that way, but she tried to box him in, to force him to say the term Islamic terrorist, and he won't do it no matter what. this former FBI agent in terms of management, blasting Mamdani as he appeared on Fox News.
The other night, instead of hosting the 2-star police chief who leaped over the barricades and ran this guy down who had thrown the bomb, the mayor decides at Gracie Mansion to host Mahmoud Khalil. I mean, he's sending such a awful message here to the rank and file. And remember, the mayor, when he was a private citizen who had commented on Twitter then that he saw a cop crying in his car and nature was healing. This is something that, again, the men and women of the NYPD will do the right thing. They're going to enforce the laws. They're going to show up for work. But they understand that this man on the screen right now does not have their backs.
And at the end of the day, that's very obvious. Let's start with your telephone calls right now here on the Dominic Carter Show, 800-848-9222. Donald, line 1, Astoria, Queens. Donald, welcome to the program.
Yes, Dominic, first time caller to you, but I have spoken to James Golden about similar things. Dominic, do you think you're going to go to City Hall and maybe help, people like me? I'm a senior citizen. I was taken off Medicaid. The Biden administration took me off Medicaid. When all the illegal aliens were coming in, I had to get a legal aid lawyer to help me get back on again, even though I've got all these medical problems. Can we get something on this guy, Dominic? I don't know what's going to happen. I'm 78 years old. I'm semi-homebound living over here. I don't get much help. I have some help, but it's hard for me. I have no family.
Well, Donald, first of all, let me correct you. You do have a family, and the family that you have is all of us that are listening to you right now. And that's the bottom line. And I'm sorry that you are going through the situation that you're going through, because it's utterly disgusting that a migrant was able to come here, male or female, and just literally pimp America while people like you are suffering. And it's just not right. So you asked, am I going back to City Hall? Here's the short answer. My time of covering City Hall is basically over. However, because of people like you, Donald, because it breaks my heart to listen to what you just said, I went into journalism to begin with to be a voice for the voiceless. So right now, you're at an age, and if I'm lucky, Donald, one day I'll get there where you are. If I'm lucky, and frankly, I don't think I will live to be 78, but if I'm lucky, I'll get to be your age, and I'll need somebody to advocate for me. And so it's people like you that are pushing me to go back down there, because this guy, he's not facing any questions. You see, the first thing I would do is, and Donald, thank you for the call, and please don't be a stranger. I want to hear from you in the future. The first thing I would do, you gotta throw a fastball, 98 miles an hour right down the middle of the plate for a slickster like Mamdani. Mr. Mayor, this would probably be my first question. Why won't you ever say the word Islamic terrorist? And then I'd have 5, and then he'd try and duck and go to somebody else. And I go, And the moment that his press secretary said, we're going to, no, I don't play that game where you tell me who's going to ask the questions. No. You may have gotten away with that in terms of Bloomberg and de Blasio, but from where I come from, the press secretary don't get to tell the reporters who's going to ask the question when you've loaded 3 out of the 4 questions. Do you think I'm stupid? So who knows? I may get worked up enough to go back down there, but I want you folks to listen to this. Former Cuomo top advisor Melissa DeRosa, that is, also on Fox News.
Doing that, but as those words are leaving your mouth, do you not think, oh my gosh, what is happening? Well, and also it was on top of the earlier CNN screw up, that's generous to call it a screw up, because to your point, was it intentional? But it's almost as if the media covering this entire thing has devolved into parody. You had to read 5 paragraphs into the New York Times story over the weekend to figure out which side threw the bomb. You had Zohran Mamdani going out and going aggressive aggressively against the white supremacists who were doing the initial protests and barely got to the people who were throwing the bombs, and still I don't think has called it terrorism. So across the board, from the media and from the mayor of the city of New York, you're seeing a really troubling pattern in how this is being covered and the bias underneath it. And so I think it all needs to be called out. Yeah.
Not the media's finest hour.
No, it's really great to have both of you on set with us. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And it's not the media's finest hour, folks. And, you know, our first caller, he mentioned, a migrant, illegal, he can't get benefits while he's struggling, 78 years old. We'll have more on this a bit later, but you may have heard the headline of the two people pushed onto the subway. This is just the latest round of life in the big city in New York. And the man arrested happens to be an illegal, happens to be a migrant. One of the victims happens to be an 85-year-old Air Force veteran. Fighting for his life, pushed on the tracks. That's about 6 feet from the platform down to the track? You can have a heart attack alone, scared to death that a train will pull in. And if you're 78 years old, who's going to be able to get you up 6 feet down, 5 feet down, while you could have fell on the third rail? Done by somebody that doesn't even belong in the country. That's why my rhetoric is real simple and direct and to the point. Get out. It's as simple as that. 800-848-9222. Let's see here. Let's go to, let me say this, folks. For people that call every day, I can't take your calls every day. And you call several programs a day. I can't do it. I'm getting a lot of complaints about repeat callers. So let's see here. Let's go to Rich in Pennsylvania, line 2. Rich, what's on your mind?
Amen, Dominic. We spoke before. I was a New Yorker by choice. I started drinking at the World Trade Centers in 1980 when I was 18. I'm from Jersey originally. I'm a veteran of the U.S. Coast Guard. I was stationed on Governor's Island. I am still furious about the trade centers, which was
I got you, Rich, but I got to take a break, so you got to get to the point.
So the point is, I'm with you 100% on the Islamization of New York City. It's tragic, and I wish something could be done about it.
Well, Rich, thank you for your service to country. One, I wish something could be done, but this guy is slicker than slick, and he's elected, and we're stuck with him for the next 3.5 years. Dominic Carter here with you, folks. The number to reach us right now, 800-848-9222. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The president and his energy team are closely watching the markets, speaking with industry leaders, and the U.S. military is drawing up additional options following the president's directive to continue keeping the Strait of Hormuz open. I will not broadcast what those options look like, but just know the president is not afraid to use them. Rest assured to the American people, the recent increase in oil and gas prices is temporary, and this operation will result in lower gas prices in the long term. Once the national security objectives of Operation Epic Fury are fully achieved, Americans will see oil and gas prices drop rapidly, potentially even lower than they were prior to the start of the operation.
White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, as there's talk of, I can't even get the words out, of Iran possibly engaging in drone attacks in California, trying to. Well, let me just say this. Iran has already seen that President Trump is not the one. He's not the one to play with. So imagine if a drone happens to kill innocent people in California, Iran, what do you think is going to happen to you? I'll just say poof. And it's as simple as that, folks. Back to your telephone calls. John, line 3, Staten Island. John, what's on your mind?
Dominic, thanks for your voice. It's refreshing to have someone like you on our side. I just want to say that Mamdani will never go against the Muslim Brotherhood. It would be too much of a backlash. He'll be considered a traitor in their eyes to them. He should have never, ever been mayor. And once Donald Trump is done cleaning up Iran, he's got to clean up the United States of America. They got to round them up and get them out of here.
Well, John, that's easier said than done. And I agree with you that Mamdani should have never been mayor. But it is what it is. And as far as I'm concerned, John, he tells us every day that he doesn't like us. Now, I'm talking about New Yorkers. Every day. He does it with a smile, but he thinks he's so much smarter than the rest of us. You know, the more I talk, John, the more I'm closer to going back down to City Hall, because I don't want to say what I would do to him, because City Hall's probably recording, and then they would try and play the tape back. And I love Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani's one of the best mayors ever, if not the best mayor ever of New York City. And, Mamdani's team, thank you for the call, John. They would try to have me kicked out of City Hall. It wouldn't be the first time, Mamdani. Giuliani tried the same thing. It didn't work. And again, Rudy is somebody I like. I'm not going to say who I don't like. I'll let you read between the lines here. Rudy is somebody I like. So imagine what I'll do with Mamdani. Because he thinks he's so slick. But I'm slicker than you are, Mr. Mayor. I really am. I don't know. Let's go to Chris, line 1, Chatham. Chris, what's on your mind?
Dominic, yeah, I agree with you. Now, you went to Syracuse Journalism School, Newhouse, one of the best. I went to Penn State Journalism School. I'm still writing and reporting, and we're similar ages. And I think what you could do is I know you're the hardest working man in radio, but go down to City Hall maybe once every couple of weeks during the press conference, because they don't have your skill sets. I watched you on New York One. You made that channel.
But Chris, it's real simple. Ask the damn question. What's so hard about that?
And secondly, they're afraid to. You have nothing to lose, Dominic.
Right. I mean, what is he going to do to me? He thinks he's going to bar me? I don't think so. You're right, Chris. Thank you for the great call. I do have nothing to lose. Maybe I'm a little psycho, folks. I don't know. But Mamdani, you're bringing me closer and closer to City Hall, and I don't think you want that, Mr. Mayor. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Say Mayor Zoran Mamdani should have had that chief over for dinner, not anti-Israel activist Mahmoud Khalil, who came over to the mayor's mansion for a Ramadan dinner the other night. Khalil, for people watching, wondering who that is, he's a Columbia grad we used to see on protest duty all the time. He's fighting a federal deportation case after the White House says he supported Hamas during those protests, which he denies. Back out here live, a lot to this story, a lot going on with the media coverage. So we'll keep an eye on it. And we know both suspects, Shannon, will be back in court next month.
Yep.
And so that reporter was covering the trial, but also doing a live shot about Mamdani and the shenanigans of what's going on and what's not funny about the anti-Semitism that's out in full display as it relates to, and think about this, folks. Let me just stop for a second. Think about this for a second. Man and wife and man. You don't think they know what each other's tweeting and what they're liking on their social media? You don't think there's pillow talk that reflects one's thoughts on social media? Mamdani won't do anything to support the police. What a coincidence that his wife would be so anti-Israel. What a coincidence that his daddy is so anti-Israel. I guess it's all just one big coincidence. I'm looking at my tweet. In a minute, I'm going to divert for a few minutes. I'm going to go to Phyllis, Staten Island, first-time caller, it says here. I'm I'm going to divert in just a minute after Phyllis. We did a story the other day, a lot of positive feedback about a New Jersey boxer that went to the very top, Bobby Chez, battling cancer, one of the smartest boxers ever. That's not me saying it. He tested part, I think it's called the Mensa Society. It's the top 2% of the smartest people in the entire world. Looking at my Twitter, at my ex, the lovely Debbie Labeo. Hey, Debbie, hint, hint, no pressure, hint, hint. Do you notice, Debbie, the weather's getting nice? You notice you and your husband, the weather's getting nice? Debbie, you know your cooking ability. I'm just saying, Debbie, that the weather's getting nice. Anyway, Debbie says, Dominic, I thought we were through with word salads with Kamala. Now we have this guy talking about Mamdani. He does more dancing than Fred Astaire. I don't know about that, but he does a lot of dancing. Before I get to the boxing story for just a few minutes, let's go to line 3. Phyllis, Staten Island. Phyllis, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic.
Hi,
First time
Phyllis.
caller, and I'm so glad you're so real. And I mean that from my heart. I have one question. All these crimes, all right? They go in, they go to the DA, they come out the other door. You're talking about vehicular manslaughter. Years ago, you go to jail for that. You hurt a cop, you go to jail. You raped somebody. He's just letting them off 40 records of throwing people up subways. We have to get rid of the DA. I need to know how long is his term and why is it so long? It should be 4 years. What is the quota on how long does
it
he
is 4
serve?
years. He can serve just like Morgenthau, and Morgenthau was who Law and Order, the TV show. The show was about his life. Morgenthau was a good man. I got to know him personally. And Morgenthau served for numerous terms. Phyllis, I don't mean to give you bad news, but I got to be real with you here. And I got to be real with the audience. Folks, it's a new game when it comes to demographics. You and I don't matter anymore. Here's why. Many politicians on the left are smart enough to go to low education voters and talk that talk. And I'm just going to be real with you right now, Phyllis. You don't have to be a black candidate. They know how to go to the black community and talk that black talk, and they get the black vote, and it's enough to get elected. And that's what Mamdani did. And as long as they can do that, you, me, the rest of us, we are irrelevant. It does not matter. As long as they have that voting block. So you said, what can you do to get rid of Alvin Bragg? Shouldn't it be 4 terms? Well, guess what, Phyllis? Unfortunately, Mr. Bragg was just recently reelected to another 4-year term. So unless the governor steps in, and a Democrat governor is not going to step in against a Democrat district attorney in such a high profile role, I could see if he was the DA in Syracuse or outside of Albany, but not in New York City, not the first black district attorney of Manhattan. It's never going to happen. He's untouchable. So the rest of us, we've just got to deal with the crime. We got to hope he's going to prosecute, Phyllis. I know this is not what you want to hear. We got to hope he's going to want to prosecute. He's not going to. And those cases are going to be simply, they're going to walk right out the courtroom. It's as simple as that, Phyllis. I'm sorry, but I am glad that you're calling as a first-time caller. But it shouldn't stop us from pressuring the governor, from writing letters and so on. But folks, I'm telling you, the new game for politicians on the left is to go talk that talk. We've got to even the score. The black man is down. They don't have to be black. Look at de Blasio. They don't have to be black. But as long as you talk that black talk and you go to the community, rah, 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 you're going to be elected. And then the rest of us are left holding the bag. We're taxpayers. We're just paying for it. And we're receiving horrible services. That's just the way it is. Phyllis, thank you for the great call. I want to switch for a few minutes, just for a few, and go back to boxing. Bobby Chez. Nutley, New Jersey. Remarkable guy. I sat down with him. We brought you part of the interview this week. A lot of positive feedback. And Bobby Ches won world championships in a number of categories. And now he's in the fight of his life against cancer. Battling cancer?
I had been operated on October the 15th of 2024 with cancer in my nose and my neck. It's called squamous cell carcinoma, head and neck cancer. But it's just another fight I got to win. I ain't worried about it.
That's the way you look at it. It's just another fight.
Another fight I got to win, and I will.
Because you're used to being the underdog.
All the time. All the time.
And so imagine a local guy, right, who does well in boxing. And, you know, I asked him if he thought he was the great white hope. And he was like, no, I'm just a fighter. But he did grow up. His father made him and his brothers, whether he wanted to or not. He trained with African-American fighters in Paterson, New Jersey. And then he went on to stardom, international stardom, as a boxer. And he did quite well. And the big fight of his life came against Evander Holyfield. So here's a bit more of our conversation. And this is starting out with the professional boxing announcers calling the fight of Evander Holyfield against hometown hero Bobby Ches.
Here comes Holyfield again, but this time Bobby Ches is landing right back with him.
Is he too tired to sit down and then get back up? What's going on? And the fact that
terrific left hand uppercut.
Bobby Ches, I wanted to speak to you because you have had a world champion boxing career and a remarkable life. I want to start this way. If I just throw out the term boxing, what comes to your mind?
Well, boxing is basically it's kind of like self-defense, but you're doing it here now as a sport. And you're doing it for a living, so it's a little bit different. It means a lot.
And so when you're doing boxing for a living, what exactly does that entail?
Well, basically, if you don't win a lot, you don't get paid a lot.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. If you're losing almost every fight, no one's gonna want to see you. No one's gonna want to pay attention, and you're not gonna get paid.
So. And you went to the very top. Define the very top of boxing for you.
Well, I won 3 world championships in 6 different weight divisions. And that's the first time it's ever been done in the state of New Jersey, ever.
Wow.
Pretty interesting.
Wow. Now, what divisions did you fight in?
I fought as a middleweight, super middleweight, won world titles at light heavyweight, cruiserweight, super cruiserweight, and then fought as a heavyweight.
You fought as a heavyweight?
I fought Evander Holyfield.
You are one of the smartest boxers ever, right? And I'm not just stating that. It's been documented. Tell us why.
Well, yeah, there was one other fighter named Henry Milligan who was a member of Mensa, but he didn't win a world title, but he still competed as a professional fighter. I'm the only world champion in history from any weight division in any country, anywhere ever, to be a member of Mensa.
And Mensa means the very
smart. Top 2% of the smartest people on the planet.
Wait a minute, Bobby Ches. You're telling me that you're 2% of the American people in terms of the smartest ever?
2% of the entire world.
Oh, not just the American people, of the entire world.
2% of the smartest people on the planet.
So you're born like that. A person is born like that.
I guess so. I don't know. I can't define that. I don't know where that comes from. But that's what it is. Top 2% of the smartest people on the planet is member of Mensa.
And Bobby Ches, we wish you much success as you continue to battle cancer. But let me be clear, you have fought the good fight and you're continuing to fight the good fight. And good luck to you. I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex, Debbie Lobato again says, at Dominic TV, whether husband and wife, talking about the mayor and his wife, whether husband and wife know what they're tweeting or not on social media, they do know what they think about every situation. Good point, Debbie. Dom, I'm getting the yard ready. No hint needed. We are going to get it done and then party on. I'll keep you posted. Folks, Debbie, I understand, food is expensive. Trust me when I tell you, you want this lady's food. This lady can cook. For real. For real. So if I'm invited, Debbie, that's all you got to say. I'm there. Period. I'll try and get Councilman Morano, and he said your food was good as well. I'll try and get him and his family to come, but we are there. Let's go back to your telephone call. Steve, line 2 in Brooklyn. Steve, welcome to the Dominic Carter Show.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you for taking my call. First-time caller. That was a great segment with that boxer. Great segment. I mean, I love hearing that stuff, and I wish him the best, and I hope things go well for him. But, Dominic, back to my story with Mamdani and his wife. I'm a retired New York City police officer. I was assigned to the 1st Precinct down in Lower Manhattan during 9/11.
Wow.
And I get choked up because it pains me to think that this guy and his wife are going to stand there this coming September and stand as the mayor of New York City at our 25th anniversary of 9/11. I sat this afternoon with a friend of mine, had lunch. He's a 9/11 cancer survivor, retired FDNY. And I said to him, Pete, we got to do something. We got to get a petition. We got to do something. And he said, Steve, you can't. He goes, because they'll just tell us that we're all Islamophobes or Islamophobic.
That's the first line of defense.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm against him.
No, it doesn't matter what the reality is. That's the first line of defense.
And it's all telling you what you are and what everything, but it's the principle of the thing. And it's heartbreaking, and it pains me to even talk about it.
It's heartbreaking, Steve. I can't believe that we're in this situation. This guy should be nowhere near elective office, period. And he's the mayor. I don't even know how he got elected to the assembly. And he's the mayor of, and this is a street term, but this is how I really feel. And you being a retired police officer, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Steve. He literally pimped his way. Now he had help. He pimped his way to being mayor of New York City. Literally. And now he's got the job. He says, I don't care what any of you think. I'm going to stick to my positions. My positions are the only positions that count, and there is nothing that you can do about it. And he is correct. Steve, thank you. And I'm sorry that it pains you, man. It pains all of us. But thank you for the great call, being a first-time caller. It pains all of us what this man is doing out of City Hall, and he gets to call himself the leader of 8 million people. I don't think so. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. The only decent thing that I can see out of all that's been going on as of late is that Mamdani could be denied federal security clearance following the online activity from his wife. I don't know what's so hard about this, Mr. Mayor. You're a politician. Politicians lie every day. They look you in your face. They tell you something they don't believe. They go to dinner. It's very easy to say, Mr. Mayor, look at me and read my lips or listen to me as I'm saying it on the radio. Just say it. Islamic terrorists. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to be the end of the world. You don't even have to mean it. But you shouldn't have the Columbia terrorist sympathizer at Gracie Mansion. You should have that police commander that literally jumped over the barricade and ran and tackled one of the bombing suspects. I know, Mr. Mayor, that's not important to you. The Columbia guy that terrorized Jewish students at Columbia University, that's who's important to you as you celebrated Ramadan. I cannot believe this guy is the mayor of New York City. Line 2, Maria and Yonkers. Maria, what's on your mind? Maria, going once, going twice. Okay, Maria's not there.
Hello?
Hello, Maria. Where were you?
Hi, I'm sorry. I was listening to the radio. I'm so sorry. Hey.
No, you can't listen to the radio. You almost missed your spot. I want you to listen to the radio, but when you're calling, you got to listen to the phone. Go ahead.
Oh, God, I love you. Anyway.
Oh, thank you. The love is mutual. Thank you.
Amen. The gentleman that called about getting a petition for Mamdani to get him out regarding 9/11 and all that, I don't understand why. I don't want him to stop. I hope he's listening. You don't have to stop just because they call us Islamophobia or whatever it is. We shouldn't stop. You know, this is our country. This is America. These are our people that died.
No, I hear you, Maria, but and I'm not going to say it's useless, but it's not going to do anything. There's nothing anyone can do except for Governor Hochul, period. And she's not going to do it.
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I wish.
Hey, it is what it is. Thank you for the telephone call, Maria. Let's go to line 4. David in Livingston, New Jersey. David, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. This morning, Sid Rosenberg said that he's organizing a WABC softball team to play the WFAN softball team. Are you going to play in the game? And if so, what softball position are you going to play?
You trying to set me up, David. You trying to set me up. What are you laughing at, Carlos? You trying to set me up, David? Well, I'll have a broken bone or something. I think my baseball days are almost over, but you know what, David? You know, if this game actually happens, you know I'll be out there. Guaranteed I'll be out there. My days of hitting the baseball and running around. You know, David, when I used to play baseball back in the day, right? I used to feel like I was Mickey Rivers. I don't know if you remember him. I think he wore number 2 for the Yankees. I remember as a little boy in the Bronx going to the game. I think, no, he wasn't number 2, but at bat now, Mickey Rivers. And he was bow-legged. And once he got on base, that little guy could run so fast. And I thought I could steal bases like Mickey Rivers. But now, David, slowly I turn, step by step. The distance between first and second base and second and third, why is it so far, man? It's 45 feet. You know? So if there's a game, what, you're going to come, David? Are you going to play? What's up?
Oh, me and your fans will be disappointed if you don't play. So we'd really appreciate
well, thank
if
you.
We
but
saw you play.
if there's a game, the last time we did one in Staten Island, at the Ferry Hawk Stadium, I was there. And I asked some of the guys, some of the players, I said, guys, tell me the truth. Don't lie to me. I said, if you know you're going to be thrown out and you're stealing, to put on a show for the fans, do you have to slide, even though you know you're going to be out? The ref is going to call. He said, both of them said, absolutely. You got to put on a show for the fans, even if you know you're going to be thrown out. So, meaning that they're going to tag you out. So, if there's a game, if Sid is organizing a game, I will be there, and I won't be a cheerleader. I'll be there for the game, and I'll be hitting, and I'll probably be playing catcher. And thank you for the call, David. Folks, join the Tunnel to Towers Foundation on its mission to do good in honor of America's heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. T2T.org. I am back live at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.